Hi, thank you for coming to Greenville. Quick question. I heard something on the radio and I wanted to clarify to make sure I heard this correctly. Something that you tweeted that you were visiting Homeland Security and you saw something with IRS training with guns.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's right. I went out to, as part of my ammo purchases investigation, we went out to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center facility in Maryland. And Federal Law Enforcement Training Center is a division of the Department of Homeland Security. And they have the biggest procurement contract for ammo. That's why I wanted to go out there. I wanted to go to their warehouse. I didn't physically count the bullets, but I wanted to see what they had, and I wanted to have a conversation with them about ammo purchases. So I went out there, and they showed me the facility. It's a training facility that trains law enforcement officers across a very, very broad spectrum. Secret Service, Customs and Border Patrol, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, IRS Law Enforcement Division are all trained at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. They learn how to drive, they learn how to evade, even people going with embassy security to Afghanistan, they go through a lot of different training out there. Even the Capitol Hill Police train there. There's a mock-up of the House gallery so they know how, if there's an active shooter or something, to take them down inside the House chamber. I didn't go in there, but it's a mock-up. So while I was out there, they've got an indoor shooting range. They've actually got two. They've got a pistol range, which is short, because you qualify at about 12 to 15 yards for handguns, so it's probably about a 30-yard handgun range. And then they've got an indoor rifle range, which is about 15 lanes wide. That means you can have 15 shooters there training, and it's 100 yards long. So you can actually shoot at 100 yards, which is standard for, I like to hunt, and I sight my rifles in at 100 yards. That's standard, 100-yard range. So while we were there, we're in a control booth. And there's a glass there, and the shooters were out there. And there was a group of shooters, and they were all in red shirts, and the guy sitting in the booth had on a red shirt, so they were all part of the same group. And they were training. They were at the 50-yard mark. That means they were training from 50 yards out. And he had a microphone, and he had the ability to move their targets. You know, they're all electronic. You've seen it on Lethal Weapon and other things if you watch movies. But so he tells them to sling their weapons and load a 30-round magazine. And I said, what are they shooting, ARs? He said, yeah, AR-15s. And I said, well, who's training today? He said, these are IRS agents. So it didn't really hit me right then, I guess. And so because we had a lot going on and we're in a hurry, so we leave. And that was on May 23rd. And I didn't rush right out on May 23rd and call Glenn Beck and say, hey, guess what I saw? I saw an IRS agent shooting AR-15. I did that. I didn't do that. But it was in the back of my mind, and for about 2 weeks, I chewed on it. And why in the world do we have IRS agents with long gun capability, what a rifle is, called a long gun, and why are they training with that? Whether it's an AR or an AK-47 or a 308, a Mauser, it doesn't matter. It has the ability to shoot you from here to the river down there. So why do IRS agents need that capability? It's called standoff capability. Not that they're going to have a standoff against a bad guy. It means they can stand away from the target or stand off from the target and shoot it from a long distance. Why do IRS agents need standoff capability? They should be checking my tax forms. They should be doing audits. I mean, if I'm evading my taxes, or somebody is, as I say, it's a criminal element, like a drug cartel guy that's laundering money and hadn't paid his taxes and all that, and they've got to go visit him, can't they call the U.S. Marshal Service or the local Greenville law enforcement officers to assist them in this? Why do IRS agents need rifles? And so I started asking those questions. You heard exactly right. IRS agents are training with AR-15s, which are 5.56 caliber, 2.223. The same thing our military is using in Afghanistan. And so I asked that question. I have not got an answer because my committee does not have jurisdiction over the Internal Revenue Service, so I can't bring the IRS agents in front of my committee and ask them questions. So we sent them a letter, and they sent back a response and pointed me to their website that says they do train with weapons that they carry. So that validated the fact that they do carry AR-15s. So we're starting to continue to ask that question and figure out a way to educate my peers that do have jurisdiction to ask those hard questions.